crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase up the rings. What I do?
Coach, thank you. Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Let's go now. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Three yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Set. 60 out low. I got it. Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Noah Spence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Brissett. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And Pascal's got it. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. Brissett. steps away to his left. That's into the hands of Pascal. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First down. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Check, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. Let's go. Come on.
They'll run here with Mack. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll run with Jonathan Williams for the first time. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Let's go, baby. 36, 36.
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
53 is the mic. Let's go, one more. Mike, 53.
And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Check 37. Check 37. Hug. Hey, alert, alert. 37 is the mic. Mike 37. It's a party now. What do you got?
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami. 49 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Barber on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 29-yard line.
Ready. Mike 55. Mike 55. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Shut up.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Brissett to throw on first. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
58, right over there. Hey, let's go. 58, right.
Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught. A big play there for the Dolphins. 41 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Check safety, check safety.
They'll run with Barber. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Peyton Barber. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Jerome Baker has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw, Brissett. And got his man complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
He can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Noah Spence in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Brissett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, watch the slant.
They'll throw again. Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Play fake. Brissett. That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll look to throw on first down to Josh Rosen. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. He was trying to get it to Kalen Ballage out of the backfield. That'll bring up second down. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground. This time Barber. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 48-yard.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again here with Mack. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. And the catch made by Hilton. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From the red zone now, Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They go play action with Brissett. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards, the final tally.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll run it with Mack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the 3rd quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rosen. Steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jabal Sheard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions, and then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
They go right back to Mack. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
Let's go now. Team out the flag. Right. Hey, we got tight right, tight right. 3 down, 3 down. 3 down, 3 down. Shift. Watch the shift. Go, go. Play. Ain't on the
On 3rd down, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup.
So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Hey, shoot.
Rosen will throw. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
At the 45-yard line.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. This is Mack on the counter. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And he's got his man Hilton. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
We got this. 1st down.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. At the 35-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Staying on the ground with Mack. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's third down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. We got 25. Check 25. Check 25. Watch twist. Watch twist.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, look to throw. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Now Balaj. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
53, Mike. Here we go.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Barber. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So they were in field goal range, chance to go to overtime, got greedy going for the win. Do you think maybe on the sideline they felt compelled to go for that win?
Sometimes that's what happens because as a head coach, you have to take the pulse of your team. You have to know where you are and how they're feeling. And maybe he thought, we've got to win it right now. Overtime, we might not have anything left for that. So maybe that's why they went for it and pressed it.
Unfortunately, it backfired. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football.